All right, everybody. It's time for a new episode of New Lunar Radio. I'm your host, J-Brony,
And I'm here, just sitting here, wasting time, daylight darkle.
and today we're just gonna do a quick little news show. Not much news going on this past week or so. Mostly just stuff. So it should only take us a little bit to get through it, and yeah, we'll get you all up to date on the news that's floating around. So first up, over the last week, Lauren Faust and M.A. Larson had a quick discussion on this on Twitter about bat ponies that we saw very briefly in Lunar Eclipsed. And the question that was brought up to them was if they were a different race of ponies or if it was purely a costume or
hmm
something to that nature. And according to M.A. Larson, in his mind, they were a different race.
hmm
And he didn't know if Lauren agreed. And then, of course, she just agreed. She said that they come from deep caves inside the mountains and they guard Luna's palace. At least that's what she was thinking. So
So Luna has a palace.
I guess at least in the Bible, Luna had a palace.
Trilogies.
Charlie died for your sins.
So where would Luna's palace be?
I don't know.
Would it be on the moon?
On the moon. No, I don't think so. Because
Oh
if
yeah.
she had been banished to the moon, then, you know.
I'm just gonna kick it in my palace.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was sent to her room for 1,000 years.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
But of course, if you follow comics canon, we know that not to be the case.
This is true. There seems to be just kind of creatures on the moon from the comics. So, you know, whatever.
hmm
So, another thing that happened today, in fact, around noon ish, our time, my time, or whoever's time, Eastern Daylight Time, as it were, I guess. Equestria Girls premiered on the Hub.
So you really have to talk about this?
Yes,
Oh,
we
I
did.
know.
Yes,
Uh,
we do.
uh,
Unfortunately, hopefully,
uh,
Equestria Girls is finally going to start tapering down on the news trend because this is the final. This is the final step. Today it premiered, or no, maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, today, yesterday,
Sometime around.
yeah, sometime around this weekend at some point. So the last thing that's going to happen is it's going to come out for digital release tomorrow, but like on
Mm.
iTunes and stuff. But meh, who cares? One thing that we did get from it though, because of the premiere, is the Equestria Girls live action music video.
Yeah. What a horrible, horrible thing.
It was not a good idea. it
Ah, that, yeah, that was just bad.
it was pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious now the crowd that they're trying to go for,
hmm
and we all knew it wasn't us to begin with, but uh, it's
That
still
was
it's
slap
just
in the face.
yeah, it's just painful, right? So I don't know. They do a silly dance and sing some songs, and then they have kids that don't look anything like the pony
Yeah, that was the worst
people.
part. Like,
I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be like painted like the
no, I wasn't
colors or
expecting
anything.
that, but
Yeah, but
still, they were way off.
yeah, they just looked way off for human representations. So I don't know. It should be outlawed. It should be not allowed.
So, do you think those kids are gonna show up in future conventions?
I doubt it. I'm guessing that they were probably just one-off actors that they picked from portfolios and said these people look like they fit the bill. Generic white kids that can wear
Or
these
maybe
clothes.
these people would do it for the least amount of money.
Right. Did you also notice how they didn't really like diversify the the people much. Like it
What do you
was
mean?
like race and gender. Well, there was gender diversification, but not very much race.
Wait,
It was lots
wait.
of.
Did we watch the same video?
I might be thinking of something else. I don't.
Gender diversification.
Yeah, that's fine. That's well in place. There's lots of little boys and little girls,
Oh,
but
I was just talking about the main six.
no, 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 no.
I didn't watch it too much.
Okay. There didn't seem to be very many. I could be remembering it. I have already tried to place it out of my head as fast as possible, but there didn't seem like there was a lot of other. It just seems like white kids. So, I mean, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. It just
No, just let's stop talking about this.
okay.
I don't want to talk about this monstrosity anymore.
You don't want to talk about Equestria Girls anymore?
No, let it be over.
Let it be done.
Ah,
I will try my best to make sure that it is done after this, but I make no promises. So, speaking of one last little thing on Equestria Girls, slightly, is the on Twitter, Megan McCarthy spoke to the canonicity of it. I don't know.
canonical implications.
Yeah, the canonical implementations, implications, all of those things. Because somebody asked her, if Equestria Girls is canon with MLPFIM, and she said yes, and that's why I had this experience and learned something from it, which in my opinion, was a no-brainer kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she says canon equals part of the official storyline, right? EQG happened, but it doesn't impact MLP FIM storyline. Is that a clear answer? The way I read into that is like she went and she learned and her character is different, but like the fact that like like that what's the guy's name? The guy pony's name, I can't remember now. Flash Sentry, since she's not like dating him now or something in the show, like until he shows up, like,
which I hope is never.
Right, then it doesn't really affect the storyline all that much, or like until Sunset Shimmer shows back up or something like that. So I kind of think of it like the Cowboy Bebop movie and the show. It was produced after the show and technically canonically happened between several of the episodes, but it didn't obviously it didn't affect those episodes. Like they didn't even need to tie in anything to like lead into those episodes. They just it was just kind of a side story that happened.
Right.
So but so I don't, it's weird that, and it spurred this whole argument / rift that for some reason there was a large sect of people that believed that it was totally non-canon, that it was just like something that never happened. And it's like, I could see if they woke up, like if it was like Twilight had a dream where she woke up and, but it was like they started off as ponies and she went through the mirror and then she came back and she was a pony again. You know what I mean? Like It's pretty obvious that this happened, at least in the world. So, but whatever. That's, I guess so. As we already knew, it's confirmed Equestria Girls is canon for sure. So, yay, I guess. Maybe something like that. Anyways, off of Equestria Girls, onto the comics, your other favorite subject that we talk about all the time. And
You mean you talk about it all the time?
yeah, I know.
Mm.
Newest thing in the comic world, comic number 10 and issue number 10, I should say, and the micro series issue number 7 both came out in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue number 10 was the end of the small 2-issue Big Mac arc, and the 7th issue of the micro series is the Cutie Mark Crusaders micro.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about this a little bit before, but I really liked the Big Mac, the end of the Big Mac arc. It was pretty funny to me, and I thought that the CMC micro was not blow your mind anything. It was just kind of cute, but
I just thought it was just a string of events that didn't really come together because, no, I don't know. It wasn't even really about the Cutie Mark Crusade. It's about that other thing that I forget the name of. It's just so forgettable.
Imp? Are you talking?
Imp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I cannot say towards the rememberability or forgettability because I did just read it today. So the thing that the CMC one did remind me of, like, it reminded me of what like a CMC episode would be like. It really stood out to me as something that would end up being a CMC episode. The other thing to note about it is it wasn't written by the people who have done it was written by other people. I forget who it was written by. I mean, I think I can look it up here real quick, but the crap. The internet is failing me right now, but it wasn't written by the same people who wrote like the first arc in the comic with Chrysalis coming back and this little Big Mac arc too. Like, it wasn't written by the same people, so I could see how it was a little bit different and off. So I don't even know if it was written by the same people that wrote the Nightmarity arc or not. So they're still, it's not like they've all of a sudden dropped off the face of the planet as far as quality goes. They're still, in my opinion, some of the best alternate stuff other than the show itself to come out. So, and I hope for it to continue well after the show is no longer a thing. So, kind of like the Sonic comics.
they still make those.
What's that?
They still make those?
Yes. And it is still a continuation of the original Sonic comic. Was a continuation after the show, like the one with like the one with like Sally and the Princess Sally and stuff like that. Like, it was a continuation of that show and is still currently running.
Lovely.
Yes. So, and that show happened in the 90s and ended after 2 seasons. So, and I think crazy things like Sally being dead, like Sally's died like 3 years or 10 years or 5 years ago or something like that. It's crazy. Like, and like Robotnik was defeated, but then there was another bad guy, and the whole But
I didn't watch that Sonic show growing up. I watched the one with Hall of the Mountain King being the theme song.
Oh, the Jaleel White one? Well, actually, I think technically he was in both of them, but the one with Sonic Says at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one where he really likes chili dogs for some bizarre reason.
And then that became a thing.
Chili dogs.
Yeah. Remember, if somebody tries to touch you in an inappropriate way, that's no good.
No good.
I learned things from that show.
You just got to get out of there. So,
good times.
Speaking of the comic, Madefire Studios, we had talked about it. I think we had talked about it a couple of weeks ago, how they were releasing a motion comic version. We might not have, but they've released a preview of it on DeviantArt, and it looks pretty good. It is a motion comic. It doesn't read to you or anything like that, but
I expected it to read to me because there's a volume thing in the application.
I think there's sound effects maybe like that'll come up, but it is also just a preview, so we don't know. You don't know how much,
Right?
how complete it is. So
I hope they do read in the final version.
it would be pretty helpful for people who have difficulty reading the small text, because from what I understand, there's not an easy way to get a large print text version of it.
Nope.
So having a version that is read aloud and or some way to increase the font size without without detriment would be helpful for some people who want to read it but can't because they have vision problems that are unable to be corrected due to with most corrective lenses or whatever. So
hmm Also, when you click the full screen button, it disappears in the full screen version.
interesting. Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe they just use a standard. Maybe they're just using a standard template that they use to preview all the stuff. So, and maybe some of them have sound. Maybe there's a premium one that has sound or something. I don't know. Not much information on them yet, other than the fact that they have released it. But like the word bubbles pop up and the text fills in and the panels slide into place and as you move along the page, and it's a pretty neat experience, especially if you're looking for a little bit more out of reading a comic. It's never been, I've never really looked all that much more from reading a comic than just reading it. So
Right.
it is what it is. Hopefully, like we said, the biggest thing would be add like a voice, like an addition of a voice, not even voice acting, just somebody reading it.
hmm
So hopefully that is coming soon rather than later.
I'm
So
looking at a different one that they made, one of Star Trek comic. It seems like the sound effects in that one, but no voiceover.
no voiceover, just sound effects though. Maybe it is just a sound effects thing. So
Yeah.
well, maybe there'll be an entrepreneuring person out there that will make a voiceover that can go along with said said motion comic.
That'd be nice.
Be something, maybe something that somebody could look into. So the last little piece of news type thing is it's about merchandise, and unfortunately, it does revolve a little bit around Equestria Daily. We Love Fine now has, or sorry, not Equestria Daily, Equestria Girls.
Oh no.
We Love Fine now has Equestria Girl based T-shirts. They have one of like Twilight, like it's backgrounded by Twilight Sparkle's cutie mark with the human Twilight Sparkle standing up, like upright, and then the pony standing mirrored underneath of her, almost like a shadow type thing.
Right.
One with Twilight Sparkle's cutie mark with her in the middle, surrounded by the rest of the main six, and then a derpy one that has her holding a muffin and has like a carrier bag and wings and stuff like that.
I still can't get over how one line totally defined that character.
One line that may or may not have been said by her, but
Yeah.
based on based on just looking at the frame.
Pure speculation there. Up, character defined.
Yep. Oh well. I think characters have been defined on worse things or better.
Like what?
I can't think of one that's
Me neither.
Applejack is a background pony because she's not in a lot of episodes.
You mean Rarity?
That too. these
Man,
are
that season 3 Rarity episode too good.
I know that these are all things that the fandom derives from. Most of them being jokes. The derpy one actually being, it's actually become quite serious now. But well, the other thing I wanted to mention though is So in the vein of the, I don't know who would buy this
What?
type
Oh,
thing. Um, uh,
scarves?
yeah, scarves that are like, so like it's like, think of like Rainbow Dash. They're both it's Rainbow Dash and Derpy,
Hmm.
and like there's little legs ahead with like a mane and wings, and then a really long flat body, and at the
It's like a
other,
long cat gone wrong.
yeah, and like a like, and then at the other end like a tail and a cutie mark and like two other little legs, and like you're supposed to wear this around your neck. It almost feels like you're wearing like a,
Pony carcass?
yeah, a pony carcass around your neck, and it's like combine this with your pony carcass backpack that you can also get from We Love Fine, and you can adore yourself with pony carcasses.
Welcome to my rendition of cupcakes. Musical.
Yes. So it would it be freaky if you had one of the Rainbow Dash backpacks, and inside of the backpack you stored a cupcake, and then you pulled it out and ate it?
You mean one of those cupcake keepsakes?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. I think that would be a little bit strange. So,
I'd do it.
but they just. I don't know, We Love Fine. I see what you're trying to do. I see that you're trying to be clever and change. But like, if I wanted a scarf, why couldn't I just get like a scarf that has just like the cutie mark on it in the corner or something? You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
why does it have to be a pony head with legs and a tail and stuff? It's weird. I just don't get it.
Save me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it just looks so sad. Yeah, I would rather just see like, if you're gonna make a Rainbow Dash one, just make it like a blue, like, you know, her the blue that they use there is fine, and just
Hmm.
kind of put some rainbow frills on the end and a cutie mark on the end.
And of course they would use Rainbow Dash for pony dismemberments like that.
Of course, I mean, well, Rainbow Dash and Derpy seem to be their go-to ponies when they're doing anything new
Hmm.
or experimental. They're like, we'll make one of these two, and if it's gonna sell, it's definitely gonna, the pony itself, because they're the biggest sellers, I would guess.
Hmm.
It's
That's the safe option.
it's the safe option, right? So
Also, cash grab.
yeah, well, We Love Fine is in the business of making cash grabs, so.
Hmm.
So the last thing is a quick little con note for the Edmonton Comic and Entertainment Expo in Canada on the 28th of this month, September. Looks like you're going to have Tabitha St. Germain and Andrea Libman for special guests. So that's, like I said, that's in Edmonton, Canada, and 28th of September. There's also going to be a Halloween comic fest that was going to have an official Halloween release, or an exclusive Halloween release of the MLP comic. It doesn't actually take place in a specific location, but it's countrywide. There's going to be a bunch of different stores that have an event on the 26th or the 27th, and
Yeah.
you can pick up the Halloween edition of the MLP comic. So,
This is gonna be Halloween edition.
yep. And it's going to be, I wonder if it's going to be creepy. I wonder if it's going to have a little creep factor in it. A little Zakora, Tales of the Strange type feel vibe. I don't know.
Mm.
We'll see. Well, I think that pretty much covers it for the end of the for this week. Like I said, not a lot of news going on, but
No.
it is what it is. We are still in the lull. We are getting closer.
Closer.
November draws ever closer to us seeing more episodes of the show. So,
And that's 83 days away.
yeah, yep.
4 minutes, 35 seconds.
So, I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us for another episode of New Lunar Radio. Sorry it wasn't as exciting as the last one, but hopefully it kept your appetites sated for hopefully some more shows coming up. More interview shows, maybe some special guests and stuff like that. So,
Alright.
I just want to
See you all
tease
next
that out
week.
there. Yeah, we'll see everybody next week. Make sure you check out our Twitter, at New Lunar Radio, and our YouTube page where you'll probably be listening to this episode. It's youtube.com/New Lunar Radio. So, no, I don't think that's right. I think you have to stick a user in there, /user/New Lunar
Whatever the
Radio.
YouTube URL structure is.
Yeah, New Lunar Radio is the username there. So just look for that. I'm sure you'll find it. It's where all our episodes are. You can find them all there. And that's it for us. Have a good week. Bye.